The Family Plan. How Guilt Turns Bloodlines into Binding Contracts. Part 7 of 10. The world calls it justice, but its billing department is pure ego. The subscription is lifelong, automatic and self-renewing, unless the mind chooses to unsubscribe. And the strange thing is, it's marketed as protection, when in truth it is a fortress against peace. It offers gavels, cells, robes, and verdicts as if these could restore what innocence never lost. The ego tells a story of brokenness that must be repaired through punishment. It sells the fantasy that if enough scales are balanced, the mind will feel safe again. But the mind was never unsafe. The whole drama is staged on a false premise, that something real was taken, damaged, or corrupted, and that justice will fix it. Every courtroom is a theatre for the religion of guilt. Its stained glass is the seal of the state. Its priests are lawyers in tailored vestments. Its incense is the paper trail of grievances that prove the case for sin. And the congregation rises for the ritual, reciting the pledges of allegiance to a kingdom built on judgment. The gavel is the ego's magic wand. It pretends to create order by slamming down on the chaos it invented. The mind forgets that the gavel doesn't restore innocence, it confirms guilt. Each verdict, even the ones called not guilty, affirms the world's core premise: that guilt is real, that it has weight, that it can be measured and transferred. Cells are not for bodies, they are for identities. The metal bars are forged from a belief: you are what you did. The longer a mind believes this, the smaller its cell becomes, until the body could walk free and the prisoner would still be locked inside. That's why the world loves a life sentence. It matches the mind's commitment to self-punishment. The so-called correctional system rarely corrects. It deepens the trance that says punishment purifies. It is the same trance behind gossip, shunning, and public outrage. In every form it says, your brother's sin is the reason you can't rest. This is why miracles feel dangerous to the world. They skip the sentencing phase. They leap over the proof of guilt and go straight to the truth. Nothing happened that could touch innocence. The world fears miracles because they refuse to preserve the ledger. Miracles shred the paperwork that keeps the grievance alive. They dissolve the standing order to punish. They release the brother and the accuser together because they were always the same mind. This is intolerable to the ego because the ego lives on the idea that justice is the art of separating the innocent from the guilty. A miracle says there was no division to begin with. The ego's justice is always about the past. It keeps the crime scene taped off in memory so the mind can revisit it daily. It frames the event in slow motion with dramatic lighting and commentary. It invites the mind to rehearse outrage until it becomes a personal brand. This is why justice movements often burn out, because they are fueled by the very guilt they claim to oppose. True correction is not about making the past right. It is about recognizing that the past never happened in reality. This is why innocence cannot be restored. It was never absent. What can be restored is awareness of innocence. And this restoration happens in the present, not in the courtroom of memory. The subscription to injustice is group-based. It is a family plan. It thrives in we language. We were wronged. We must unite. We must never forget. In this way, it makes guilt a shared commodity. It passes the password to new members at birth. It trains them in the rituals, the commemoration days, the reenactments, the retelling of the story until the victimhood becomes an heirloom. The world loves a gavel because it promises closure without requiring forgiveness. It loves a cell because it makes the grievance visible in form. It fears a miracle because a miracle wipes away the entire premise, leaving nothing to cling to. To the ego, that nothing feels like loss, but to the mind, it is freedom. To unsubscribe from this plan is not to endorse wrongdoing. It is to stop believing wrongdoing changed the truth. It is to see that innocence cannot be sold, revoked, or restored, only remembered. It is to choose correction over punishment, remembrance over retribution. And when the mind does this, it keeps only what cannot be sold: peace, joy, and the brother who was never an enemy. The gavel drops in the courtroom of the world. In the courtroom of the mind, the judge of truth never adjourned. He does not weigh evidence because he knows there is none against the Son of God. And when the sentence is read, it is always the same: "Go in peace, you were never guilty."